Asperger's. It's a label. Asperger's syndrome. Not a disease. I don't think anybody's claiming that Asperger's is a disease. They might call it a condition. Generally, officially, it's referred to as Asperger's syndrome. Syndrome doesn't mean disease. It essentially just means a pattern. That's all syndrome means. Just about anything that's a pattern can be called a syndrome. You see somebody picking their nose all the time, and you can say, well, they've got nose picking syndrome. Yeah, you can say that. Tourette's syndrome. Tourette's is a syndrome. There's not too many people claiming that Tourette's is an actual disease. Oh my God, better take a shot because you don't want to catch Tourette's. you better get the Tourette's vaccine. It's not a disease. Syndrome, Tourette's syndrome is just a pattern. Go around swearing all the time, call it a syndrome. Pick your nose all the time, call that a syndrome. Scratch your butt all the time, call it butt scratching syndrome. So I'm a bit skeptical. I am not really all that thoroughly convinced that what people are calling, especially what the medical profession is trying to label as Asperger's syndrome, somebody doesn't have empathy, somebody doesn't have social skills, somebody doesn't put themselves in another person's position and ask themselves, well, how would you feel if it happened to you? And a lot of these claims about, but the thing is, people with Asperger's, they don't have the capacity. There's something lacking. There's a chip, emotional chip that they're lacking, as if it's Data from Star Trek, lacking the emotional chip. And there's probably some people thinking, yes, what we have to do is do more research on Asperger's, and then we can develop a microchip implant to give them emotions. Just like Data. The Asperger implant. That's to give emotion. This notion that people say, people with Asperger's, you see these children with Asperger's, and you try to tell them, you try to ask them to put themselves in the other person's place, and they're not capable of doing that. Well, I say fucking bullshit to that, because you take any child. I mean, you want to say, this child has no empathy for anybody else. They're not capable of putting themselves in the other person's position. All you have to do is say, look, the same thing that we were all told as kids. How would you feel if somebody did that to you? It's that simple. And saying that, somebody has Asperger's, they're not capable of relating to putting themselves in somebody else's shoes. They're all about themselves, and all they're able to feel is their own emotions. Well, it's not that difficult to ask them, say, okay, would you like it if somebody did to you this, whatever it is you're doing to somebody else? And they can give you a straight fucking answer. And it's not too hard to say, okay, kid, now you said if somebody hit you in the head with a baseball bat, you wouldn't like it, would you? But now you're hitting somebody else on the head with the baseball bat, and you're saying you're incapable of empathizing. You don't know, you're unable to realize that the other person doesn't like that. That's bullshit. And my suspicion, my gut feeling is that this Asperger's stuff is just bullshit. And of course people that are invested in it, People are invested in saying, my child has Asperger's, or my husband, or my wife, or I have Asperger's. Of course, they are invested into the concept, and they stand to lose if the concept is exposed as being just bullshit. So of course they're going to be defensive about it. So the defensiveness doesn't particularly convince me. Oh, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. It's a real condition and it's a problem, and you just don't even begin to understand. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but my gut feeling is that it's bullshit. And that you can just label any fucking thing as a syndrome of some sort, and that's supposed to validate it. Anybody go around being an asshole, say, oh, it's asshole syndrome. You can't point your finger and say he's an asshole. No, he was born with asshole syndrome. It's not his fault. And I've known a lot of assholes in my life. A lot of jerks in my life. A lot of idiots in my life. And most of them were probably born that way. But that doesn't stop me from saying this guy's an asshole. This guy's a jerk. I see a snake. The snake was born that way. It's not a snake's fault that it's a snake, but it's a snake, and I'm going to point out that it's a snake. You go around saying, hey, I'm so scared of bugs. There's a spider. Oh, I'm freaking out because there's a spider. Oh, spider's so scary. And it's a spider. It was born that way. It's not its fault that it's a spider. But that doesn't stop you from killing it, does it? So if somebody's born a jerk or an asshole or a moron, that shouldn't prevent me from being able to point out and say, look, this person's an asshole, a jerk, a liar, a moron, and I don't like them for it. And maybe they can't help it, but their inability to help it doesn't make me like them better. It only makes me more prejudiced towards them. Thinking, well, this person's what's the word of irredeemable, unsalvageable. This person's beyond redemption because they're born that way and there's nothing they can do about it. That's only going to make me hate them more. That's only going to make me want to have absolutely nothing to do with such people. It's not bad enough that you're an asshole, but you can't do anything about it because you were born that way. Then go fuck yourself. But I think a lot of it is excuses. What we do is, especially in this modern time, what we do is we label everything because nobody's supposed to be responsible for anything. Nobody's supposed to be responsible for their own behavior, their own action, and their own attitudes. So everything is dismissed as, oh, they couldn't help it. They were born that way. Oh, he's got such and such syndrome. Not my fault. I've got the syndrome. Can't help it. It's the way I'm made. Well, I've got punch you in the fucking face syndrome. Don't blame me for punching you in the face. It's a syndrome. I can't help it. I was born that way. I can't help it. Nobody can help anything. Nobody's responsible for anything. And, of course, nobody has free will. All the people arguing so vehemently about how, oh, free will is ridiculous. Oh, no. Anybody who thinks we have free will is an idiot because we don't have free will. Well, when anybody starts on that we don't have free will bullshit, I'm ready to hit them in the face with a brick and say, hey, don't blame me. I have no free will. I have hit you in the brick. I have hit you in the face with a brick syndrome. Don't blame me. So this is just a rant about my extreme skepticism about the whole Asperger thing. And Tourette's is a bit the same way. I mean, you go around swearing all the time. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't understand. These people have a mental disease, a mental condition, where they cannot help this thing. They have to swear. They can't stop themselves. Well, you know what? That just doesn't hold, because swear words are a learned thing. No baby is born knowing swear words. You have to learn swear words along the way as you're growing up. So people spouting out swear words are spouting out words that they've had to learn and that they know that they are swear words. If their brain wasn't able to distinguish, oh, well, this word is a swear word, then people with Tourette's wouldn't be going around spouting swear words. They would be going around spouting anything. They'd be saying, frying pan, margarine Band-Aid. And that there are people that do that, but they don't usually get labeled Tourette's. They get labeled something else. They get labeled, I don't know what, but, out of control, wacky, something. But the Tourette's is usually reserved for people who go around spontaneously spouting swear words in particular. So their brain is making a choice, a deliberate choice to shoot out swear words in the same way as if swear words were bullets, or some, that the brain, that their mouth is a weapon, and the swear words are the ammunition. And the brain that's spouting out these swear words in a Tourette syndrome is a brain that's capable of distinguishing swear words from non-swear words and deliberately choosing those swear words as ammunition to spout out. So I just can't really buy this, oh, they're not responsible because they can't help it, they can't control themselves, it's involuntary. What's involuntary is not the words that are being shouted, but probably the shouting itself, which has got to be a response to circumstances in their lives and experiences that they've had, things that they have to lash out about, but they're not allowed to. But then they have to find some medically validated way of saying, oh, well, I couldn't help lashing out. So fuck you, motherfucking shit, fucking dick sucking cunt, fucking shit, ass fuck, frying pan. That way, giving them a medical label to something validates it and at the same time excuses you from personal responsibility, so that you're able to keep going on doing it and saying, hey, don't blame me, I got a syndrome, I can't help it. Asperger's.